Is there a life force behind the universe? Sometimes when we look around us at all the human suffering and other suffering in the world, you see disaster, you see disease, you see people facing unimaginable hardships. It's easy to wonder, is there any greater force guiding all of this? Or is life just a random mess of events with no deeper meaning? Is there no justice, no love behind everything? Then, in the middle of all that pain, we might see things that seem to whisper of something else. Babies being born, wounds healing, the way plants push up through cracks in the pavement, the kindness of a stranger. Could it be that alongside all the bad, there's also a powerful undercurrent of good? Think about the sheer complexity of life. Your body, for instance, you eat food, and without you doing anything, your body magically turns that food into energy. Your brain processes millions of bits of information every second. Your immune system fights off invaders, and you don't even know what's going on. No, there's something undeniably intelligent going on beneath the surface. And as I say, it's animals as well. They follow their instincts without breathtaking a moment. They do it incredibly well, don't they? They migrate thousands of miles without GPS. Sea turtles return to the very beach where they were born to lay their eggs. Where does that knowledge come from? Where does that deep, built-in understanding originate? Is there a life force, really? We know there's a force of life, but is there a spiritual life force that creates instinct, that creates the body working by itself? Things don't just exist, they grow, they get repaired, they adapt. If you cut your finger, your body jumps into action, stopping the loss of flowing blood. If you've ever been through a tough time emotionally, you've probably noticed that given time and support, healing happens. From the miraculous development of an embryo to our body fighting off disease, there's a natural flow of healing that reminds us of a creative design at work. Even in our relationships, kind words and support can help us heal, providing and proving that a nurturing presence isn't limited to biology alone. A song can lift us out of a bad mood. We instinctively reach out to help those in pain. It's like there's a natural pull towards healing and growth, not just in our bodies, but in our relationships and our minds. And there's also a power of beauty. We might not think about it often, but beauty has a way of stopping us in our tracks. A sunset that paints the sky in unbelievable colours. A piece of music that stirs something deep inside. A perfectly balanced painting. Spiritual thinkers like Emanuel Swedenborg suggest that what's really making a face beautiful is the good affection that shines through it. It's an inner light, not just the physical form. Even in moments of deep suffering, there can be a beauty, a community coming together in the wake of a disaster. The resilience of the human spirit in the face of loss. John Keats put it simply, beauty is truth, truth beauty. That is all ye know on earth and all ye need to know. There's an old saying, we see it when we look for it. If we only focus on the bad, we'll find plenty of bad. But if we start to pay attention to the undercurrents of goodness, we'll notice that, despite the hardships. There's also kindness and healing and love at work in the world. Religion and spiritual traditions often encourage self-reflection, not just to dwell on suffering, but to recognize the deeper meaning hidden within it. Sometimes things that seem like setbacks turn out to be blessings in disguise. Sometimes it feels like we're just at the mercy of random events. But look a little deeper, and you might notice that life has a way of working out, even if we can't see it right away. Of course, when we're in the middle of something awful, it's almost impossible to see the bigger picture. But looking back, haven't we all had moments where we thought, oh, this is why that happened? A great example of this is the old Taoist parable. You probably heard it. A farmer's horse runs away. His neighbours say, oh, that's awful. The farmer shrugs. How do you know? The next day, the horse returns with a group of wild horses. And the neighbours come round. That's amazing, they say. That's wonderful. Again, the farmer says, how do you know? Then the farmer's son tries to ride one of the wild horses. And what do you know? He falls off and breaks his leg. And the neighbours of the farmer come rushing round. Oh, that's terrible bad luck. Terrible, they say. And the farmer once more says, how do you know? A week later, the army comes through, conscripting young men for war. And the farmer's son is spared because of his broken leg. Moral of the story? Often our setbacks are just tiny parts of a much bigger picture, a hidden life force guiding things towards a positive outcome. We rarely see the full picture in the moment. Spiritual thinker Emanuel Swedenborg suggests that if we could see all of providence, could see it all working in real time, it would leave us with no choice but to believe in this higher power, this higher life force. But instead, we get just glimpses, just enough to notice the patterns if we pay attention. As philosopher Søren Kierkegaard put it, life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. History is full of people who turned their suffering into something meaningful. Take Winston Churchill. He battled lifelong depression, his black dog. Yet it may have been this struggle that made him the leader of Britain that we needed during our darkest hours. Or Helen Keller, the American, deaf and blind from infancy, yet she became a writer, an activist, and a symbol of perseverance, proving that obstacles don't define us. Or Khalil Gibran, who endured exile, family tragedies, and heartbreak, but transformed his suffering into profound writings that still inspire people today. He famously said, out of suffering have emerged the strangest souls. The most massive characters are seared with scars. So, are you still asking, is there a life force? And the answer's got to be yes, surely. Even though the media often highlight the negatives, just a little reflection and self-awareness can help us discover the positive, uplifting forces that make life truly wonderful. Whatever you name the life force, there's something undeniably good woven into the fabric of existence, a transpersonal reality that has been here long before us and will continue long after.